Thank you very much for supporting me on Patreon. Hopefully this helps you to have the very best garden of your entire life. We're out here on the first part of December, and we're looking at the worm bin. And I haven't done much with the worm bin for a while, but as we've been harvesting the old detritus from the different areas of the garden, because we're going into winter, so old crops are coming out, new crops are coming in. We've just been throwing the junk on here. So I have a whole bunch of lemon cucumbers and other things that I've thrown on here, and old pieces of cardboard. When the cardboard decomposes, it leaves the tape that the cardboard box was put together with, and nothing really decomposes that. And so now we have a bunch of trash in here that we need to pick out. But here's a piece of cardboard here, and it's full of the cucumber seeds. Let's just lift this cucumber up right here and see what's happening. So there's been things eating it. Oh, let's focus on here. I'm going to put my finger in here as just as a, as a size comparison. But look at those baby earthworms. How many are there? I can't even see them. You can probably count them because you have a super cool camera. It looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Maybe 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 even.
Yeah, but you got to remember that earthworms eat bacteria and protozoa and fungus, anything that fits in their mouth. But as these are decomposing, there's a lot of sugars in these fruits, and so sugars would be food for sugars would be a food for the bacteria, and so the bacteria are multiplying, and as the bacteria multiply, it attracts the earthworms. You can see the striped earthworm here. That's a European nightcrawler, and so that is fantastic and wonderful that we can see that guy. Hopefully that's showing up on the camera because he's just crawling right through there. Super awesome. He's gonna disappear here in a second. He's holding still right now. There he goes. And then let's move this cucumber right here. So as soon as I move it, the light hits them and they move real quick. It's kind of a reflex. So get your camera focused right here really good. Doing up close against that cucumber. And then I'm going to move the cucumber. The vibrations make worms move and light makes them move. The light isn't very intense in here today, so maybe it's more vibration. But I'm just going to move this real quick. And check this out. Look at all those guys. So the worms are doing their job. They are doing the composting. They're doing the decomposition. Let's move your camera right here under this one. And I will just move him here on the count of 1. Okay, so nothing there. I guess there was one little one. But that's pretty awesome, So I just moved this one, and there's more worms stuck to it. And I wonder, are worms going inside these cucumbers? Not really. They don't really eat the fruit itself. What they're after is the bacteria. So they want it to start to decompose before they get in there. Oh, I just moved that cardboard, and there's a whole bunch right there. There were green beans in here, and here's the beans that were inside the pod. See, there's a pod. So the hull of a green bean, like the hull around the seed, it's going to be fungal food because the carbon to nitrogen ratios are mostly carbon, and then the inside of the bean, this is the cotyledon of the bean. Those are going to be lots of starches and proteins, sugars in there, and so that's going to be more bacteria food. So let's just get a little bit more aggressive here. I'm going to grab this stick. See how this stick's going up this way? So I'm going to grab this whole area and move it, and let's see what you can capture on the camera as I do that. So there's that. I'm just going to pull it back. Okay, so that revealed a lot of worms in here. Let me move this a little bit. And it revealed these artichoke flowers. So we didn't harvest all of our artichokes because I like to let some of them go to flower. It's fun to watch the insects pollinate them. Look at this guy here. Wait, he's going up in the air. He's feeling for something. There, he's falling. I'm going to go ahead and move this artichoke. Okay, so the artichoke is falling to pieces. The inside has rotted out. and all we have is fibrousness. Where the artichoke heart was, there's just empty space. And so that is part of the, yeah, so the heart that you eat is completely gone, because that would be the soft part, the sugary part, the part people eat, and the part that the microbes eat quicker first. And so the microbes ate all of that, and then here's all the part of the artichoke that you throw away, and this is going to be very fibrous, very woody, very unpleasant if you get that in your mouth when you're eating artichokes, but it is going to be fungus food. So the fungus will have to decompose this because it has very much carbon in it, very low nitrogen. And the worms are in here sucking everything up wherever a microbe is. So that is pretty great to see that happening. I really like that. And let's just look at this artichoke, and we're seeing the same thing. Everywhere that we had the all the soft, yummy parts, it decomposed quickly, and so the worms came in and ate all of that quick decomposition. But this looks like this is almost intact right here. So we need to get fungus in here, and fungus takes a long time to colonize. And when we stir things and move things, it kills fungus. That's why you don't want to till your garden soil, is because it's killing out the beneficial fungus. Okay, so that was a bean right there. And here's a piece of bark, like wood bark from a tree. And so I'm going to pull that out. And so it's obviously covered with earthworms. And if you look right here, like right in front of me, is that an earthworm? I can't hardly see it with the naked eye.
Yeah.
That's a baby earthworm?
Yep.
That's about the size when they first hatch. So since we see mature earthworms that are sexually mature, and we can tell that because they're big, they're large, they have a prominent clitellum, which is, I need to find a pointer, but we'll point right there. That enlarged part right there, that's the sex organ. Well, he fell, but I think you saw it. And so we have sexually active adults. We have juveniles, like this one right here. He's a juvenile because you can't see the clitellum, so he's a teenager. So he's not quite sexually active yet. And then we have babies that are just hatching. And then there's a child right there. He's older than a newborn. But then we have some in here that are just really teeny. And so those ones are just out of the egg cocoon within the last, I don't know how long, maybe the last week or two, or even the last few minutes. And then right here we have something interesting. I need a magnifying glass to see it. So what is that, Esther? Is that a blossom is that a fungal blossom? Like a, I don't even know.
I think
I don't even know what I'm seeing, but I'm going to move it. Yeah, so it is connected to all of these strands right here. So there's all of these strands. So I'm actually looking in the camera, and she's got it zoomed up awesome, so you guys are seeing this too. There we go, right there. So yeah, it's super hard to hold stuff when it's, so stop right there if you can, possibly, and hold it still. You're moving, it's funny. Okay, so there's this thing right here that's going through your screen. That's my pointer. Wish I had a better pointer. But right here, so I'm using that as my pointer, but right here you can see all these fibrous things. Well, they're attached to this, whatever this is. So I'm guessing that that is a fruiting body of a species of some kind of fungus. Because fungus comes in all colors and shapes and sizes. Possibly it's something else, I don't know. But it's awesome to see all of the different life forms that are in here. And the way that I know that this is a good compost is because, you know, it doesn't stink. That's the main thing. If it stinks, you know you're going anaerobic. Well, anytime we dig down in here and smell this, it's not stinky. And you got to remember that all of these things on top of here that are rotting down, it's only about 4 inches thick at most. Because right here, this was a thermophilic compost that had gone through the proper stages of heating and cooling until it was done. It stopped cooling down after about 6 turns, and we brought it in here and we put it in to feed the worms. And so the worms are mostly feeding on this. See, I'm just going to go right here. I'm going to pick this up, and we're going to put that in my hand. So that's down in the thermophilic compost. It's not thermophilic anymore. It was a thermophilic compost. We put it on top of the worm bin. The worms have worked their way up through it. And let's just go, just see right here where I'm moving this back. See all these worms in here? They're just as thick as can be. I'm going to move this piece of bark. And everywhere we go, it smells very good. And it's awesome. Now up here on top, where I threw a few things on top just from cleaning up the garden, normally you would want to compost those in a thermophilic way, and then you put it on. But I just did it this way for fun. And anyway, hopefully this helps you to dig your hens in a compost pile.